It's literally an hour after we posted the last video and we're already filming again for another one. What we said last time was we're gonna get the engine and trans mounted and we're gonna start with the transmission. Super simple. It's got, if you've never seen Porsche style mounts, these are gonna go over here somewhere, and then there's a piece that mounts to the engine that goes into here. So it's literally a 2-bolt thing. This is how Porsche does it, and then the only other thing that you have is on the transmission, which is right here. So with the power of 3 mounting points,
it shall fly.
These are upgraded, right?
Yeah, those
Fancy
are Rebel Racing products. They're polyurethane.
Fancy shiny stuff. Start making mounts, and hopefully this engine will be in for real. But like, obviously, when that's in, we're gonna have to take it back out and paint and do all sorts of stuff. But
yeah, the house paint is not the final look.
This is literally house paint. Someone said the paint looks sick. I swear you were being sarcastic. It's literally like, have you ever seen like a handrail for like a government building? This is exactly what that looks like.
Engine mount cradle.
It's going right there.
Yep, goes right here.
Doing that first.
Guess that's a good sign. That one doesn't seem to thread in very well at all, but I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, none of these really threaded in that well to begin with.
Yep, so send it. Show the people the method of repositioning the engine.
Oh yeah, this is how we get the engine and chassis together.
This is literally a 911 engine going into a go-kart. This is not much bigger than your standard go-kart.
Yep.
Okay, so we got some jacks under the front to get the body level, and it's level this way. Now we need to make sure it's level that way. I'm pretty sure that the chassis itself is, but the engine's tilted down. So we're gonna have to shim it till it's flat, and then all we're gonna have to do is measure the distance between this mount and the frame, and the same thing with the other side. That'll make sure everything is nice and level and the engine is where we want it to be. We've already verified that it's the height off the ground that it needs to be, so we just got to get this thing not floppy. Okay, so with some metal shimming. What's that say, James?
It says we good.
We good, okay. Now let's make sure that it is the same.
Yeah, now we just got to square it up side to side and we should be golden.
So all the measurements check out. Now we're just going to install these pretty much and then build mounts that go to them. Probably out of cardboard first, and then we will make them out of metal.
More than likely, that's our usual MO.
So if you're new to fabrication, the best thing to do for making brackets, mounts, things like that, is make it out of something easy to work with, like cardboard.
Yeah.
And then all you need to do is replicate it into metal, which isn't really that hard.
Yeah, I mean, it adds an extra step, but it's better to work from
cardboarded design.
Yeah.
That's what CAD really stands for. These are complicated shapes. It's gonna be really stupid to make in the computer. Sam can do it in 2 seconds, but
he ain't here right now.
So we're gonna freehand it.
I don't want to cut Dave. Hey Devin, you want to cut some laser shit?
Here's our ghetto, but you know, we're getting really good at ghetto fab, so like it's coming out pretty clean.
Yeah, should be fine. I mean, after we spend a little bit of time grinding it down because our TIG welder's broken right now. Thus the lack of attention to precision on this. Once we get these welded in, do some grinding and some painting, these should look pretty good. We still gotta close in this outside piece, and I want to make a gusset that goes under it. We're not going to bother filming under it because that seems lame. Okay, so the order of operations here is that now the engine mounts are done. We bolt the engine up, make the transmission mount, bolt the transmission up, and then we'll know how much space we have to do the rear suspension. So, gotta get this thing re-leveled. These are all burned in, all real ugly but functional. It'll look good in the future. I was gonna promise, but they might stay ugly, I don't know. We'll find out.
We're gonna now bolt the 911 engine to a shitty old go-kart.
There we go.
We're still on jack stands back here though.
Yep, still.
Okay, so with the power of the shitty level and our shitty engine mounts and some shitty ratchet straps, we've suspended the entire thing. This table that's under the engine isn't actually doing anything anymore. We just can't like get it out of here, so. What we're gonna do now is build the transmission mount. We're thinking about coming off of these points, which already exist, and just making a, like, kind of like a bolt-on
cross member kind of dealy.
So we're gonna do that. Okay, so here's our precision engineered bracket. Now what we're gonna do is tube. Boom, we're gonna try to bend it first try. Done.
Yep.
There she blows. This was extra too. This isn't even part of the tube we bought today.
Yeah, we just bought more. That's just something we have sitting around.
We've determined that that's actually the bend we need, so we're just copying it instead of actually measuring anything.
Yeah, let's start there and let's hold it up to the back of the car, see how it looks, and then if we need to add more bend, we can.
Woo! Thing sounds familiar.
Nailed it!
Nailed it! Now we just fucking cope these, take some paint off, buzz, buzz, buzz. Motherfuckers.
We have a trans mount.
Boom, the floppiest mount.
Well, yeah, we'll have to do some kind of bracing.
Nonsense.
Maybe up to the roof for cool split window Corvette vibe.
Let's keep this chassis exactly how it is and turn it up to 25 pounds.
Keep this chassis floppy. Safety squib.
We started getting concerned that whatever we decide to do for the trans mount might interfere with the suspension, so we've assembled our Porsche 996 suspension. We're just kind of putting it in here so we understand what kind of space it occupies, so we don't accidentally make something that interferes with that, because that'd be pretty lame. Okay, so there's a couple things we need to bolt the subframe to this. We have to, before we even make mounts, we need the right hardware. So what we've got here is shoulder bolts, and these slide into here. And we also have these tube ends that we're gonna weld shortly onto a piece of tube, obviously. You see these slide right in here. But the problem is the exact size that we needed didn't exist. So I'm gonna take this down on the lathe to match all the other ones. Then we'll go over how we make these tube ends, and then you'll see why we need all this stuff when we bolt this up. First step is to set these up so they're centered in here. And you'll notice that they already got this hole on the bottom. And that's the direct center of the bolt. So if you look at the part on the lathe here, that'll index into there. And it'll make sure that this goes in nice and center. I'm just gonna spin this, make sure that it is nice and even. So I got this set up how I want it. I have the distance that I want to, I have the amount that I want to take off coming off that. I'm just gonna put some regular old motor oil on it, just to lubricate it, keep it from getting too hot. And then this lathe, it's literally like a joystick. If I want it to go that way, I'll push it that way. But I want to go that way in this case, so. Okay, so now James is welding the tube ends to the bolts. Yep. Sam's over there making these tube ends. He already has enough blade stuff going on, but this is kind of the hardware that we needed. It's taken all day to make these so far.
Super duper special bolts. I mean, you can kind of tell just looking at them. They're fucking wacky.
What's the strength of these though?
A lot.
Infinity.
Yeah, pretty much. Should be good.
So now we're gonna weld these sections of tube, the tube ends we made earlier, which now have the bolts welded to them. So now we have a threaded tube end.
Yep.
You'll see why soon. Woo! Woo! Stay tuned.
Keep watching Beam 2 Stiff for more tube.
Okay, we're looking pretty serious now. And what we need what we need to do now is do what we did with the engine and just center it. So it's really more lame than it is off camera, on camera. Because it's just like moving this cart around infinite amounts of time. But we'll get back to you when it's centered, and then we're gonna connect it, and then we have a complete rear drivetrain, which is actually pretty much like the entire drivetrain.
All right, so we got it centered now. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna tack in some extra support here just to hold it all in place while we figure out what we're actually gonna do for the tubes.
The benefit of that is we could actually remove the engine and transmission to finish the tube work. It'll make it really easy. We'll be able to get like nice and under everything. And so we're just gonna support this with some temporary shit.
Yeah, it's where we want it, so let's get it in there for good.
Okay, so not a lot of thought went into what's going on here, and this is all literally, this only exists to support the subframe exactly where we want it. So we got these nodes over here, and that one there, and there's one down there, and we can finish the tube structure when we do the chassis reinforcements, but it's gonna be easy to do that with all this stuff out of here. So in the next video, we're gonna pull the drivetrain out, and this is gonna be suspended by all of this like metal garbage, all the junkyard metal, and then we could do the entire chassis reinforcements and all the mounts and everything like that, send it off to get powder coated, get it back, put it together, do some twin turbo plumbing, and we're good to go. It's easy as that, right?
Buddy. We always say that, and then it takes 9 times longer.
We're moving though, we're moving pretty quick.
Yeah, this was a lot of progress.
That's gonna wrap this one up. We're gonna give away stuff from boostedshades.com because that's what we do every video. If you are new to the channel, all you gotta do is like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Devin's gonna pick the winner first for this video. Oh, that's the best way to support us right now. Boostedshades.com, so check that out. Please, buy our shit.
Okay, this video's winner is Joe Fargoso.
All right, hit us up at Teamboosted at boostedshades.com or through any of our social media platforms. We'll get back to you and we'll shoot you something. If you guys want to win, like I just said, like, subscribe, leave a comment. We ask you guys stuff at the end of the video though, so commenting could be a little bit easier. What do you think our first big challenge with this is gonna be? That's a pretty good one, right?
Yeah, I honestly have no idea. It's going pretty smooth so far, knock on wood.
There's gonna be something stupid. With the Speedster, it's the fact that it blows up every 20 minutes. With this, maybe there's not gonna be enough weight in the front to steer it. Maybe it's only gonna do wheelies. Maybe this $20,000 drivetrain explodes. Who knows?
I mean, the first part of that didn't sound like a problem, but the drivetrain exploded.
All right, guys, that's gonna do it for this one, officially.
Yeah, as always, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.